Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellency Kiai Haji Muhammad Hasan Mutawakil Alallah SIMM, as Chief of Foundation of Zainul Hasan Islamic Boarding School, Excellency Dr. Abdul Aziz Wahab BIMAG, as Director of Zainul Hasan Islamic University, Excellency Miss Rodatul Islam MPD, as Director of Sociolinguistik. I will explain about the lingua franca and creoles. And the first concept is lingua franca. A lingua franca is a bridge language used by people from different linguistic backgrounds to communicate with each other. It is commonly used in situations such as trade, education, tourist, business, and international relations or diplomacy. This language is usually an already existing and widely recognized language, not created specifically for communication. One important characteristic of lingua franca is that it can be used by millions of people across different countries, even if it is not their first language. And for example, English functions as a global lingua franca in many fields such as science, technology, and education. Other examples include Arabic in part of the Middle East or Swahili in East Africa. The use of lingua franca helps reduce communication barriers and make interaction more efficient in multicultural environment. The second concept is pidgin. A pidgin is a simplified language that develops naturally when two or more groups who do not share a common language need to communicate. It often emerges in situations like trade, colonization, or migration. A pidgin combines elements from different languages, including vocabulary and grammar, but in a much simpler form. And a pidgin usually have limited vocabulary and less complex grammatical rules compared to full language. They are not learned as a first language by children. Instead, they are used only for specific purpose, such as basic communication between groups. However, if a pidgin continues to be used over time and is learned by children as their first language, it can develop into a creole, which is a fully developed language with more complex structure. In conclusion, but lingua franca and a pidgin play important roles in communication between people of different linguistic backgrounds. A lingua franca is a widely used, established language that facilitates global or regional communication. In contrast, a pidgin is a newly created and simplified language that arises from the need for immediate communication, usually in more limited and specific contexts. The image explains the concept of creoles. A creole is a language that develops from a pidgin and becomes a fully developed native language spoken by a community. This happens when children grow up learning the pidgin as their first language and gradually expand it into a more complete and complex language system. Unlike pidgin, which are simplified and used only for basic communication, creoles have stable grammar, richer vocabulary, and are used in everyday communication, just like any other natural language. Creoles are no longer limited or temporary. They function as a mother tongue for their speakers. An important point is that development of a creole shows how language can grow and evolve over time. When a pidgin is consistently Used across generations, especially by children, it transforms into a Creole with its own rules and structure. In conclusion, a Creole is a more advanced stage of pidgin, while a pidgin is a simple communication tool. A Creole is a complete language that is naturally acquired and used within a community. Sekian dari saya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.